The West African Examination Council, WAEC, is yet to come out with a fresh timetable for the June 2015 BECE resit. Deputy Director of Public Affairs of WAEC, Agnes Tekujo, hinted that the candidates are likely to rewrite 3 papers on June 29. And to speak to this particular issue is one of the organizations that were quite unhappy about the WAEC's decision to cram the papers together. We are told that they are going to be writing 3 papers in one day. That is what the new timetable is suggesting. And to speak to us on this is Ernest Opoku. He is the president of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers. Ernest, good afternoon and thank you very much for joining us. Hello, Ernest.
Yes, hello.
Good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon, and thank you to your listeners. Greetings to your viewers.
Great. We are told that the WAEC, that is, has released a timetable for the 5 papers which were cancelled somewhere last week for the resit of the papers. And we are told that there's a possibility that the pupils will be writing 3 papers in one day. How does this come to you, and what is your reaction to it?
Seriously, we are not happy with the timetable that has come out. We think that is going to compound the already problems that students are facing. The students have been traumatized with the translation of the exams, the exam papers, and that the students should have been given ample time to prepare and come and write the 5 papers. Because some of their colleagues in the secondary schools have to go on midterm so that their facilities can be used, we think that they cannot stretch the time, and that the 29th is okay, but the 2 days that have been accepted for 5 different papers is seriously unbearable. I mean, even with people, if you ask someone like myself here to write 2 papers a day, it's going to be difficult for me. And that if you ask a student to write 3 different papers a day, to me, it's neither here nor there. And then the reasons assigned to it by WAEC, to me, is also untenable. But WAEC is saying that a student used to write 2 papers a day. That is, if you have to look at it, they write section A and B, so it should have been 4 papers a day. That is under normal circumstances. But then the truth here is that, I mean, if you ask a student to write paper A and B, that is 1 paper that the student is writing. But if you ask a student to write social studies, English and religious and moral education, you are going to overburden the students. And that is why we are asking WAEC to listen to us. Yesterday, we tried to engage WAEC to see how best they can extend the date. If they can add extra day to it and make it 3. What WAEC is saying is that they wouldn't listen to us because they have done with the timetable, they have released it, and there's nothing they can do. But what we are saying is that we are a partner to WAEC. We are teachers.
Yes, but Ernest, before you go on, is it not that the students or the pupils have learned over time and they were supposed to have taken the paper, but due to the leakage, there has just been a suspension of that particular date and a new date has been proposed? So if you have already prepared for the exam, should there be a problem if you are asked to just write 2-3 papers in one day? What really is the problem there?
But the issue to me is also neither here nor there. Yes, they have prepared. They have prepared and they have written the paper. But the paper has been cancelled and they have to write a different set of questions. And that means that they need to prepare all again. You agree with me that if you go to examination hall and you are done with the exams, there is something we call the examination fatigue. And if they come and say, no, the questions have been cancelled, so prepare and come. You agree with me that psychologically you are affected.
Right.
And so if they ask you to write 3 different questions a day, it's something that a student cannot do well. It's going to affect the quality of exam that they are going to write. Is going to affect the quality of certificate that they are going to give the students. They may not be able to pass the paper.
Okay.
And that is why we are calling on WAEC to listen to us as social partners. Because the truth is that as teachers, we set the questions, we do the marking.
All right, fine. Ernest.
Overburdening the students for 2 days.
Ernest, are you looking at taking any major decision, or yours is just to, express your frustration and disagreement with WAEC? Is there anything you're going to do?
Yes, that is the first thing. Like you said, that is the first thing that we have to do. We have expressed our frustration that the way things are going is not good, and we are calling on WAEC. And I'm really happy that the three teacher unions are now singing the same song. Okay. I've been told NAC has also issued a statement. NAC has issued a statement. It's an indication that our social partners, yes, we are singing the same song. So there's a need for WAEC to listen to us. But we think that if they become adamant and they go ahead and let's take certain decisions, we'll have the cost there. We may resort to it, and then restrain WAEC from doing what they want to do. Because we think that it's a human rights issue. Okay. And we are also calling on other human rights organizations to come into it, to come to the aid of these children. Okay. That is one thing that we may explore, but I think we've not gotten to there yet. Today is Tuesday, and we think that we can write officially to Director General. As I speak to you, I'm on my way to GES. I'm going to meet Director General. Let us all do our job. We don't have to go to court yet.
Okay, all right. Resolve it. We thank you very much, Ernest Opoku. He is the president of the Coalition of Concerned Teachers, and they are expressing frustration about the timetable that has been released by WAEC. So a bit of correction there. The timetable has already been released, and it was released, that was yesterday. And according to WAEC, in that statement that was released, the council says that the candidates are expected to rewrite English Language Paper 2, Integrated Science Paper 2, and Religious and Moral Education Paper 2 on Monday, June 29. And then the candidates would then rewrite the Mathematics Paper 2, Social Studies Paper 2, and Paper 1 and 2 on Tuesday, June 30. Madam Agnes Kujo is the Deputy Director of Public Affairs for the WAEC. She's joined us on the line on this particular development. Madam, good afternoon, and thank you very much for joining us.
Good afternoon.
All right, to start with, would you not agree with the concerned teachers and many other people who have spoken that cramming 3 papers in one day for pupils who already are frustrated by the cancellation is a bit too much?
Well, we took into consideration a number of factors before coming out with this timetable. First of all, we all know that next week next week Wednesday is 1st July. So we have, if we say we are going to conduct the papers over 3 or more days, then it means that we will not be able to conduct the exam next week. It means that the exam will have to be conducted the following week. And I believe that most of the candidates wish that they have finished with their BECE and they will be relaxing by now. So it wouldn't be fair to stretch this examination for too long, as the candidates also need to, get on with other activities. Now, also, when you take into consideration the number of papers that the candidates take for the regular BECE, they take 4 papers. For example, they take RME 2 and 1, English Language 2 and 1, so they take 4 papers a day. That is why this time round we looked at it and we said, okay, they could take 3 papers for the first day, and then the second day they take 3 papers, and then we'll be done with it.
Madam, I think this, and then the paper 2 is when you have to crack your brains and write out answers. This time around, you are cramming in papers like all the paper 2s that you're writing, mathematics, English language, and then moral education, for instance. They are all written subjects where you would have to read. There's a possibility of confusion for the pupils. And then it begs the question that, are you doing it at the convenience of WAEC or the convenience of the pupils?
As I said to you earlier, we took into consideration a number of factors. The fact that, as I mentioned earlier, that they will take 3 papers instead of 4. The fact that next week Wednesday will be 1st July. So if we will not be able to conduct the exams within more than 2 days, if we say we are going to do it not within our purview. So I know that is going on, and I believe that at the appropriate time, the BNI will come up with the results or the conclusion of the investigation.
All right. Finally, do you think that between now and the 29th, which is Monday, is a good enough time to send news across the country to give the new timetable? Because we are already being told that somewhere in the northern part of the country, some of the pupils are saying that they do not know when the new timetable is coming, and then there's a possibility they wouldn't return to the classrooms to write the papers if the announcement is even made. What are the plans to ensure that information gets to every corner of the country?
We have taken action on that, and we have asked our various branch controllers to send out the messages to all the districts. We are also doing that through the media. So we believe that by next week, by the weekend, all candidates who are involved in this examination will get to know about the new timetable.
We are grateful for your time, Madam Agnes Tai Kujo. She is the Deputy Director of Public Affairs for the West African Examination Council, WAEC. So let me just run by you. If you're just joining us, the news is that WAEC has released a new timetable for the receipt of the papers that were cancelled. And it says that candidates are expected to rewrite English Paper 2, Integrated Science Paper 2, and Religious and Moral Education Paper 2 on Monday, June 29, which is coming Monday. And then on the Tuesday after that Monday, the candidates would rewrite Mathematics Paper 2, Social Studies Paper 1 and 2. So that is by way of information for you. And we move away from education.